students. Hello. I hope you understood the reproduction first lesson. Second lesson I am going to tell sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Before watching this class, just read a book, that lesson once, and come and observe the questions, what kind of questions are coming in question paper, and make your own notes of NCERT and other things. So, what is sexual reproduction in angiosperms or in flowering plants? Flower is the first part which is important in flower. So, I have drawn flower structure and what parts, how will it be and what will happen, how ovary will become fruit, how fruits will come for the plant. All these we are going to discuss about in this lesson. So, flower structure, suppose if you hibiscus flower you cut and see, open the half, in practicals also you will have this. Flower will have a stalk, base portion, stalk. Upon that, thalamus will be there, swollen portion. On the thalamus there will be lot of other parts of the flower will stand. Sepals will be protective outer layer. Other name is also called calyx. Calyx for the sepals. Then petals. Petals are attractive colors in different flowers, different color. It attracts the insects. Petals are also called as corolla, means different colors. Corolla gives different colors. And male part of the flower is stamen. This one, suppose stamen. Okay, stamen is here like this. Filament will be there down and up will be anther part. Anther is also called as andrecium. Andrecium. This is the male organ. And center part there will be style, the start portion, and upper portion stigma, and the base of the style will have ovary and inside ovule will be there. When suppose during pollination any insect come, or how this pollen grains from inside will go and through insects or through wind it come and reaches that pollen grain like this, it reaches the ovule of the, then slowly the fertilization will happen here, and microsporangium, megasporangium, all these will connect, and here slowly this will fertilize, and all these parts we will discuss, and slowly it will become small fruit. Fertilization will be successful, and from flower only, most of the cases in all plants flower will be the fruit. There will be exceptions. If every same many organisms will be like this, means there are one exception will be there for this. So next part we are going is the structure of the anther. The straight structure is called filament, as I already told. Anther, the transverse section of pollen. So this is TS of anther. This is TS of anther here. It is, if you cut first two, 4 lobes will be there. These two, actually 4 inside pollen grains will be there. This is line of dehiscence where it will cut and open. Outside will be pollen sacs. Inside will be pollen grains. This structure only, I explained this pollen grain here, I have drawn here. And this pollen grain structure, especially how will it be structure of microsporangium of a pollen. Okay. This structure of microsporangium before fertilization. How? If you cut it, these are microscopic structure. You can only see this structure in the microscope only. If you make it in microscope slide, if you keep it and put some drops of the liquid which they provided, you can see this structure. There will be permanent slides in your lab. You can go and observe these. So these, the outer layer of the structure of microsporangium is epidermis. Middle layers will be there. There will be four layers. Epidermis, middle layers, endothecium, and tapetum is the fourth one. First one, second one, third one, and fourth one. Okay. From this microspore, mother cell is happening. So this is the structure of this pollen grain. What is there? So this structure of pollen grain, if you see, outer coat will be exine, which contains, this is the important bit, 1 mark or need what they are asking is, exine contains sporopollenin and intine contains cellulose and pectin. Here germ-4 will be there, and when it is undergoing, up cell is called vegetative cell, down cell is called generative cell. These are the fruits, parts for the fruit to happen. So in that only, again another, these microspores, when it is undergoing fertilization, sporogenous cells, from sporogenous cells, that's all meiocytes, diploid state, from diploid state meiosis. So one haploid structure undergoing and tetrad will happen. These microspores are coming, and this is the structure of this megasporangium. So what is the main part of structure of megasporangium means, this is the most important part. There will be, this is ovule structure also. There will be different plants are having different orthotropous, anatropous, different kind of, based on the position of the ovule, how will it be? The structure of, if the cut and see here, it will be different. Even placentation of the flower, center axil placentation, marginal placentation. In your textbook, beautiful diagrams they have given, you can observe properly. For biology, you need main structures only and diagrams. Wherever diagrams are necessary, you have to draw there. If you don't have time, if you draw the diagram for a bigger question, 5 marks, you will get more marks. So this structure here, the stalk of the ovule is funicle. The entrance of the, where that stamen enters and goes like this, that is called micropyle. There are outer layer structures which are called integuments. This you have to draw separately, but due to lack of place I have drawn here. You can see this is called 7-celled 8 nuclei. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These nuclei will be there. Those are called top parts. This part is called nucellus. This part is called chalaza. In this only antipodal apparatus, 3 parts. These are called in ovule antipodals. And this is called the structure of complete is called embryosac diagram. Structure of embryosac, if they ask, you have to draw only this. If they ask ovule and structure of ovule fully. If they ask structure of embryo sac, only these egg cell stage you have to draw. The center is polar nuclei and down ones will be egg cell will be there, then synergids and filiform apparatus. When these mix, suppose here this is undergoes double fertilization. See, angiosperm ovule and gymnosperm ovule, and there are microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. They are asking questions, different questions. So, when they are asking this double fertilization, Syngamy and triple fusion is very important. Together these two are called double fertilization. When male gamete and this egg cell, fusion of male gamete and egg cell is called syngamy. Male gamete and polar nuclei, this male gamete and polar nuclei means male gamete which is entering, and when it is mixing with this polar nuclei it is called nuclei plus these two are called triple fusion, 3. Okay, so there are different structures in your textbook which you have to observe. So before I am going to those, you see the structure of these and learn carefully and observe how the microsporogens, pollen grains are coming and entering into the plant, and there are different kind of different pollen grains, and these cytoplasm will be there, these only. Then based on gynoecium shape there are different kind of gynoecium, monocarpellary, syncarpus. There will be different definitions, and how these are going into megaspore, mother cell, different diffusions, how finally from single, how the this full egg cell is happening, egg apparatus, 8 nucleated 7 celled stage. Suppose if they ask 8 nucleated 7 celled stage, you have to draw this. These definitions I am going to tell now. After that, how pollination is happening between different cells, different plants, you are going to learn. And after that, you can observe one by one how monocot, dicot, these are happening. The definitions of some are I am going to tell now. Example for the monocarpellary ovary. They give P, and for bicarpellary they give Vinca rosea. You can search in Google for those flowers. What kind you have seen generally outside, whatever will be there. You have seen these only. And how the placentation, megasporangia, I told microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis differences. And next I will move on to pollination. Pollination will be transfer of pollen grains. I will transfer of pollen grain from same plant, same flower is called pollination. If it is same flower, it is happening on same flower, means it is called self-pollination. If this flower another go and meet with another by wind or by agents, means biotic agents, means insects, different kind of insects, that is called cross pollination. If it is completely going one plant to different plant, there is another name. They are asking what is pollination and what kind of these things are there. So based on the types of pollination is autogamy, geitonogamy, xenogamy. Autogamy is transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of same flower. There only they are asking what is chasmogamous flower and what is cleistogamous flowers. Cleistogamous flowers are closed flower, that is happening the pollination in closed flower, which is open in open flower, those are called chasmogamous flower. And geitonogamy is transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of another flower. Xenogamy is pollen grain from anther to stigma of a different part. So like that biotic. Then Vallisneria is the best example in water, by water, pollination in water. Vallisneria gives that. Even yucca and moth relationship, pollen pistil interaction and yucca and moth plant, how inside flower, bee go, female and male bee go, and there it larva feed on yucca seeds. Larvae burrow out of fruit, make their cocoons under soil. Then again, compatibility between pollen and pistil, same. Right type of pollen land and stigma receptive to the pollen. Then incompatible, that is compatible. If not, if pollen didn't go to the right part of the stigma, means that is incompatibility. So next is artificial hybridization. Technique where only desired pollen grains are used for pollination and fertilization. Means when it is not happening naturally, then there is a process of emasculation and bagging. Removal of anthers artificially, they will remove the artificial these things and they will keep where they have to, then they will, removal of anthers is called emasculation, and after removing the anthers they will place there another and they will keep the bag, cover with the bag flower, that is called bagging. Bagging of anthers. Like that, fertilization already I told. See, there are earlier lesson I told pre-fertilization events, what is fertilization and post-fertilization. Everywhere from zygote, embryo, and even how the fruit, pericarp, mesocarp, those things happen. And then next to how coconut have inside water. Because of primary endosperm nuclei undergo repeated divisions to form free nuclei. Later cell wall will form and endosperm becomes cellular. This thing only will happen. Slowly water comes. That water slowly undergo and that endosperm will form. Like that, another part of after this, whatever haplontic, diplontic, haplodiplontic life cycle, learn that, then go to next part is different kind of seeds. Which monocot is a single cotyledon. Suppose example rice, maize, all these are single cotyledon. Here I drawn the stages, I didn't draw, they gave in textbook, but I have drawn the structure of monocot. Dicot is having two cotyledons. So monocot will have scutellum and down part will be, suppose radicle and root cap. Both will called as coleorhiza. Including radicle and root cap, it is called as coleorhiza. This is important part, you can put double star for this. Scutellum will be here, then upper part. What is coleoptile means the structure of upper part of here monocot seed is called coleoptile. What is coleorhiza? Coleoptile. Here you have to learn. Then dicotyledon seed. When seed is growing, the upper part is called, which is going into stem, which is coming outside the soil, that is called plumule, which is going inside and it will become root, that is called radicle. So these dicotyledon dal, suppose dal of, there are many chickpea, there are so many are there, which will be two seeds, all beans. So center two portions will be there, upper part of the whole it is called micropyle, down part will be called as hilum. Then many seeds. So structure of the these things I am going to show here. You have to see these cotyledons and learn these structures and draw these. This is placentation they gave, how the different plants, albuminous, and these are the definitions they gave. Now I am going to tell about seeds. Then here they give coleorhiza. Please observe the diagrams from the textbook. Those are very important. The next one I am going to teach is endospermic seeds, which are called as albuminous seeds, non-endospermic seeds, which are called as non-albuminous seeds. Endospermic seeds are wheat and non-endospermic are pea. Okay, I have maintained my notes and I have written here. So next part we are going to is what is, see, which is many embryos are there, those are called polyembryony, which is having where, and what is true fruit and false fruit. Fruit developing from ovary of flower, that is called tomato. Fruit developed from other parts other than ovary, that is called false fruit, which is apple. So next part, parthenocarpic fruits which is developed without fertilization, those are called parthenocarpic fruits. So with this it is over. They are asking many questions which I am going to ask now, and write down these. Which is a better mode of reproduction, sexual or asexual? Then you can write that is sexual reproduction. Then explain structure of TS of mature, and you can write this. Which is the tallest flower? Amorphophilus thoughtpura, in that is big one. So what is 7-celled 8 nucleotide stress? This one you can draw. What is pollination and what is emasculation? What is polyembryon? Formation of more than one embryo is called polyembryony. And what is seed? Explain its type. What is and what is fertilization? What is syngamy? These questions. Please refer your whatever you have material book. Thank you.